Hey, we are back up with another edition of the Fantasy NBA today. How are y'all doing? With Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, aka Dr. A, I am Rick Kamla. We're going to go through my pop player article here. Who hit, who missed. We'll look ahead to next season a little bit. And also, we're going to look at the NBA awards here. Most improved, MVP, Coach of the Year, all that kind of stuff. And this episode is ready to roll here, Doc. So let's dive into the previous one we did was looking at your preseason article, your My Guys article, and you hit on a lot of those guys. So we're going to look here at my pop players article. And the idea here is, in a way, these are my guys, right, with sort of a different slant on it. But going into every year, and this is football, this is baseball, this is basketball. I play fantasy hockey, but I'm not scientific about it. I kind of mess around with it. And but with baseball, football, basketball, and then college football, I'm extremely scientific about it. So I come up with pop players. And these are players that are about to have their career year. These are maybe vets in a new spot, and I see a pop happening for them. It's just upside, upward mobility, right? You could flip this, and it could be a down player article, like a starter getting traded to a team where then he's going to come off the bench. Dante DiVincenzo, perfect example of that. Had a great role in New York, got traded to Minnesota, and we all kind of knew that role was going to be weird for him, and it was. So the opposite of that. Guys you think are going to pop, maybe like a cat going to New York, although he was not in my pop player article. Okay, so I want to start here, Doc, with you're going to be so mad at me. I literally, it's ironic because I hit on almost all of these pop players, right? Except this one. I started out the article, and I don't know, Andre might have put this guy as the picture and the face of this article, and I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Zion Williamson, Doc. Oh, no. Oh, no. Zion.
Our wait is finally over, folks. It's my favorite line.
So you have the article up?
Oh, yeah.
Read the people the dumbassery that I put out on sportsethos.com about Zion Williamson.
Here comes the year of Zion. Our wait is finally over, folks. Zion is primed and ready for his put it all together. And then it just goes on and on. And at the very end, he said, we will be seeing angry Zion this season as his Shut Your Mouth tour rolls through the season. Heads up to fantasy basketball websites. Make Zion center eligible as soon as possible. Thank you. Good stuff.
I'm sorry. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Thank God I did not have Ja Morant in the pop players article. Thank God, dude, because I was pretty high on Ja Morant coming into the season, too. I don't know why I didn't have Ja Morant in this article, but I had Zion Williamson in this article. What a mistake. And by the way, you found a typo. Our wait is finally over, folks. Zion is primed and ready for his put it all together season. And that pisses me off. I'm like, dude, I'm a nut about, I don't just write it and send it. I write it, edit it as I'm writing it. And then when I'm done, I read it all over again, right? I always find a little thing here and there. I don't want to send it off to editors and have the editors do any work. My goal is the editor does no work. They read it, it's perfect, ship it. So that kind of pisses me off that I forgot the word season right there. Anyway, what pisses me off more, it's Zion Williamson in the Pop Players article. That will never, ever, ever happen again. Zion is dead to me forever, not as a human, as a fantasy basketball player. I don't care if he averages 40 points. I don't care if he harkens Wilt Effin Chamberlain, okay? He is on the never draft again list, and that is a way of saying he's in Cam's recycling bin, okay? Is there, if Zion was available in the 9th round next year, would you take him?
I don't want Zion on my team. I got burned by Zion in 30 deep. I took him as my first round pick 3 or 4 years ago. No, I'm out.
And that was it. And that he screwed you over in 30 deep, and he was dead to you after that, right?
And he's proven it every year. I mean, he's shown me nothing in any season that he's ever played that, man, maybe I should change my mind about that guy. Kyrie Irving has changed my mind.
Good call.
Zion has done nothing to change my mind from how I felt after his rookie year. And you know what's
so
funny,
let's get
Rick?
into some of the hits I had.
I want to say one more thing about Zion.
Yeah, go.
I think I know the specific instant when you decided you were going all in on Zion this year. Somebody, I think it was Brewski, said he's lost all this weight. Have you seen these pictures of Zion? And I'm like, Photoshop. And you were like, but don't you think, like, if he did lose weight, like, this could be the year? And it was like all like happening in your mind right then. And you just decided you were going in on Zion at that point. And it didn't work, but it was funny. I laughed. I cried.
I'm not putting any blame on you at all. None. I will take 150% of the blame here. But can you please help save me from myself as we move forward here? When I get a wild hair up my butt about a Zion or these unreliable, soft-ass players, will you please hit me upside the head with a frying pan and go, dude, are you sober? Like, what is wrong with you? Are you ill? Do you need to lay down? Please.
I tried, man. You weren't having it. You're like, skinny Zion. Let's go.
You did try.
Photoshop.
You did try. It's a good point. I was a freight train down the tracks with Zion.
That's
what a
so good.
Stupid ass decision, man.
It's so good.
You know what's ironic, Doc? I think I won every league that I had Zion in.
What?
And Ja.
Wow.
Because you know how? Determination, hustle, guile, savvy. Like I don't know, Doc. Like I think a lot of people, maybe even experts, are like, all right, that team sucked, and they may kind of bail on it. I never bail on a team, dude. Like, there's always the waiver wire. There's always guys that can come rescue your team, man. Never give up on your team, like ever. Dude, I won a Sam Hinkie's letter championship, the first one that I won. I'm getting my ass handed to me in the final game, right? The weak matchup. Trae Young was out. Domantas Sabonis was out. And I was bleeding out on the battlefield. So it gets to Saturday, right? Domantas Sabonis had one of the most epic triple doubles of all time. Like 32, 22, and like 12 or something like that. Trae Young came back and he went off. And they, after missing the whole week, they came back, had ballistic games. I ended up winning that championship game. I had already mourned the loss of that game. I didn't stop making lineup moves, but I was like, I'm done. I'm dead. There's no way I win this league. And I won the league. Never, ever give up on your league. By the way, when you say, I'm done, I suck, this league is over, you're not giving up on your team. What you're doing is playing the crying strategy with yourself. You can play the crying strategy with another team, and you can play the crying strategy with yourself. They both work, okay? Like, pronounce your team dead in the final round on Thursday. This team is dead. I'm done. I'm not winning the championship. I've mourned the loss of it. You're going to win that championship almost every single time. It's the weirdest thing in the world, but it works. All right, so Doc, elsewhere in this article, I had Trae Young next. And I thought that we were going to get a tiny Archibald season, competing for the scoring title and the assist title. And I said the floor for Trae is 28-10. I would not be surprised to see a 30-11 masterpiece in his best individual season to date. I came pretty close, okay? He had a career high in assists at 11.6. And first time in his career, he led the NBA in assists per game. So I got that part right. However, the scoring, Doc, was at 24 and a half, 25, something like that. I thought that Trae Young was going to make it the Trae Young show, be a little selfish, as he's, a ball hog, as he's wont to do. But Trae Young was more of an involver this year, more of a distributor, more of a teammate, more of a make his teammates better guy this year. And it was really good for the Hawks in reality. And he still had an awesome fantasy season. So I don't know. I get maybe half credit on that one, Doc.
I think it's fine. I like I like your first line under each guy. So I'm going to read those as we do this. It's all on Trey now. Call it Ice Tray Island in Atlanta. It's good. Except it wasn't Ice Tray Island because Clint Capella and Okongwu were involved for most of the season until Capella finally went away. And Jalen Johnson was heavily involved for the first 2 months of the season. Dyson Daniels, heavily involved. Zach Risachet started a lot of games, took a lot of shots, hit some, missed a lot. But I think the biggest reason that Trey's scoring was down is his field goal percentage was pretty bad. It's 41%. If he would have hit 45% of his shots, he scores a lot more points. So, but overall, I thought it was a good season for Trey.
And you know what, we want to kind of like talk about, in review and then look ahead a little bit. Going forward for Trey Young, Doc, I mean, it's wash, rinse, repeat. The guy's going to play a bunch of games. He's going to be between 24 and 28 points. He's going to be between 10 and 12 assists. He's not going to have good shooting. He's going to give you a lot of threes. He's going to give you about 1 steal per game. I mean, that's why I love Trey Young. Like, you can count on the numbers that Trey Young, there's nothing empty about it. There's nothing fake about it. I love drafting Trey Young. He's a rock.
And I feel like he takes less hero type shots now than he used to.
Agreed.
And it's weird to see his numbers go down instead of up. But he's taking better shots, and he's playing team ball, man. I mean, he's a team leader in Atlanta now. I think he needed to get DeJounte out of his way. I feel like he likes playing for Coach Snyder. And the Hawks should, if they can keep Jalen Johnson healthy next year, now that Okongwu's got all that experience and Risachet has a year under his belt, they should be, able to get into the actual playoffs next year without having to go through the play-in tournament.
It's interesting. Trey Young to me is the back half of the first round pick, and he's been there for a while. So, this is not, just to let you know, this is pop players. This is not a sleeper article. So this first segment was called Pop Stars, as in players who are stars who are still going to have a pop. Got it wrong with Zion, got it right to a degree with Trey Young. I got it right with Paolo Banchero. I mean, he missed a bunch of games, but what I saw in terms of a statistical hike did happen. I projected that he would have a PRA of 25, 8, and 6. He had a PRA of 26, 7, and 5. And he had 1.9 threes. I said that he would get close to 2 threes per game. So I feel like I nailed Paulo a little bit. He had a career high in scoring. He had a career high in rebounds, a career high in threes per game. He did not have a career high in assists, but it was obviously a very good number. The problem, he played 46 games. He missed like 30-some games with that oblique injury and came back and was just a beast. He played 72 games in 80 the previous 2 years. So I don't look at Paulo as, I just look at that as a weird aberration. The guy picked up an oblique and had to miss almost half the season. But I'm not worried going into next year about him being injury prone and all that kind of stuff. The guy's tough. They said last night on the broadcast that after coming back from the oblique, he played every game for the Magic up until the last 2 games where they took him out because they wanted to rest him up for the play-in tournament. But next year, Doc, I see him in the All-Star game. I think he's going to make an All-NBA team. And I think he's going to take his scoring to even another level, up to like 27 and a half points per game. I still think there's room for improvement and upside with Paulo.
Yeah, your first line on Banchero was no more Mr. Nice Guy. And I feel like that was accurate. And I feel like he took a big step this year. And I think he's going to take a big step next year. Like, he's going to be even better next year. And you're right. The oblique injury was a fluke. It's weird. Like, I wonder when the first oblique injury occurred in the NBA. I'd like to know who the first guy to have an oblique injury in basketball, when that happened, because that's a baseball injury. And I know there were several obliques this year, and it's like, how is that happening? These guys aren't swinging bats. Like, it's very weird. But Oh, I was never on the Banchero bandwagon previously, but I'm gonna hop on next year.
PRA machine. His lines are he's kind of I thought this coming out of Duke. Like he's like Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James. Boom. Like their basketball beings came together and gave us Paolo Banchero. I think he's a blend of those two guys. I had James Harden as a pop star, Doc. Saw a big year coming. I said Harden should pop into 22, 6, and 10 PRA with 1.3 steals and 3 threes per game. Let's check that. So I had 22, 6, and 10. He was at 23, 6, and 9. 1.3 steals. I said he was at 1.5. Thank you, James. And I said he'd be at 3 threes per game, and he was right at 3 threes per game. I think next year, Doc, I'll be high on Harden. I love the goodies, and I don't care about the percentages. But I don't think he's going to be 23 points per game. I think he'll come back to 20, 21 points per game, assuming Kawhi Leonard is good to go for the start of the season. I think a lot of, 2 PPG for James Harden came because Kawhi Leonard missed all those games. So that's the only sort of but I have going into next year.
I had a ton of James Harden. I had a ton of Norman Powell. I had a ton of Derrick Jones Jr. And Harden was fun, but man, he was so inefficient. And you said you don't care about the shooting, and that's fine, but it was kind of rough. He was 41%, same as Trae Young. But I felt like James was way more ineffective shooting the ball than Trae was. So that's weird. That whole perception versus reality thing. But the numbers were great. The games played were great, man. 79 games out of James Harden all day, man. That's a ton of points, rebounds, and assists right there, and threes, and everything else. So I'm going back in next year. I really enjoyed the Harden experience this year.
Doc, 0.7 blocks, 1.5 steals. James Harden in his mid-30s gave us 2.2 stocks per game. That's huge. I mean, you're hitting us with a 23, 6, and 9 PRA with 3 threes, and you're hitting us with 2.2 stocks. Man, shoot 38%. I don't care, bro. Do you? All these counting numbers. Dude, he's one of the best counting numbers players in the NBA right now. Also in the pop stars, I had Zach LaVine. You remember how high I was on Zach LaVine preseason, Doc? He was my second round pick in 30 deep. Helped me build the best team in the regular season. And of course, didn't win it again. Won't even go into it at all. But Doc, read the first line of the Zach LaVine.
My favorite Larry David episode of all time. In honor of Larry David's Spite Store, Latte Larry's, I give you Zach LaVine as a pop star for the new season. Latte Larry's. No wobbly tables, no defecating. It's a defecating free zone. Yeah.
And no cold coffee. Remember, he'd always get cold coffee from Latte Larry. And Larry's like, it's not cold. And Larry's like, it's cold. And then you got JB Smoove over here going, yo, man, it's cold, with about 3 cuss words, right? Like every other word is a cuss word from, God, what is his name?
Mocha
on
Joe.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Mocha Joe was the guy that was serving Larry the cold coffee. So Larry opened up Latte Larry's right next door. Got him a little Spite Store. Are you talking about JB Smoove? Leon.
I thought it was little Roy or something. I couldn't remember. Leon. Oh my God. He's got the do-rag and the tank top on, and every other word's a cuss word. He's hanging out with my boy LD, man. By the way, I met JB Smoove at a Super Bowl, Doc, I don't know, several years back. You know, the media night or whatever, that Monday night, where all the stars and all that kind of stuff. So we were there just kind of observing, and I did ask a couple of questions and stuff. Who the hell was I down there with? Was that Houston radio? I don't freaking remember. But no, it was Atlanta radio I was down there with. But we saw JB Smoove. I have a picture of me and JB Smoove at media night or whatever they call it from the Super Bowl. Dude, talked with him for like 5 or 10 minutes about Curb and Leon and stuff. He is the coolest dude. There's no arrogance. There's no, like, you know what I mean? No big time. Like, he's just a normal dude, man. I love me some JB Smoove, dude.
That's awesome, man. I love it. You have to send me that picture. I want to see it.
He's a cool dude, man. He's a cool dude. He was all swagged out. He had a cool hat on. He was looking good that night. And we talked with JB Smoove. Cool dude, man. All right, let me.
Where are we at?
Zach LaVine.
Where are we at with LaVine?
So
really sure.
I thought I had 25, 5, and 4 with 3 threes and a steal. He was at 3.2 threes. Didn't quite get to the 25, 5, and 4, but he was at 23, 4, and 4. This is one thing, Doc, I did not anticipate from Zach LaVine. He just had the most efficient year of his entire career. He shot 51% from the field. And I looked at that this morning and I was like, no way. I didn't even know that. I'm not a percentages guy, okay? I'm a counting numbers guy, and it helps me print championships. You all are worried about the percentages. Good luck. It's way more about the counting numbers than it is the percentages. The percentages come and go with the win, baby. The ratios, just trust me on this. Trust me. I've been doing this 35 years. I've never sweated percentages, and I've got dozens and dozens of rings, okay? But he shot 51, 44, 82. Most efficient overall shooting split of his career. And Doc, I like him again next year. I do. I'm a Zach LaVine guy. He doesn't have Billy Donovan buzz killing him anymore. Sacramento is a score. We have one guy that plays defense team. So I'm green lit on Zach LaVine. And I think Zach LaVine's going to be a bargain going into next year too. I think people are still going to be like, Zach LaVine, I'm not really that into it. I'm a Zach LaVine dude, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's been really weird to me ever since I thought he was done in Chicago, never to be seen again, and then suddenly there he was. That was bizarre. He missed all that time. I feel like his knees are always kind of dingy. And I guess I just don't really trust Zach LaVine in the grand scheme of things. He's 30 years old right now. So he'll be 30 heading into next season. That's kind of a magic number for a guy that spends that much time in the air. It's all going to depend on what the Kings look like. If DeMar DeRozan is still there, I'm probably not messing with Zach. If DeRozan or Zach are somewhere else, then I'll look at it.
Understood. All right, Zach LaVine, you still have work to do with the great Dr. A. All right, those were the pop stars. Now I've got this section here, the about to pop into stars. And I had Wemby, Doc, for this one, about to pop into stars. He was going to win Defensive Player of the Year. San Antonio was like a 500 team. Remember when he was healthy? They were going to be looking at a play-in tournament. He was, I thought, going to garner some MVP consideration with his monster stat line and the fact that San Antonio was relevant. And then the blood clot thing occurred. So let's just advance to next year, this conversation, Doc. I'm not on Wemby next year. I'm not. I'm going to let, I will take Jokic over him. Here's the thing, Doc. If I have the second pick, and Jokic goes number 1, that's going to be a real mind boink for me. I'm probably going to go Luka. Maybe SGA, although I love the 30-point triple-double line for Luka and, 3.5 threes, and he's going to put a little D in there, but not D like SGA with the 1 block and the 2 steals. But Luka's PRA is way better than SGA's PRA. So I'd probably go that way. But I would probably take Luka in the 2-hole and let Wemby go to number 3 and let him be somebody else's problem. Because, Doc, here's what I think about Wemby. I hope, I believe he will play next year, but I don't know yet. But I do know this. I bet you in the wussified NBA, especially with a resty, bubble-wrappy culture like the San Antonio Spurs, that will Wemby play both ends of a back-to-back? Coming off the blood clotting. will Wemby be dropped down to 27, 28 minutes a game to sort of build in a little bit of rest, right? I just think that he might get some kid glove treatment next year. And so as we sit right now, I'm probably going to let y'all mess with Wemby next year, and I'm probably going to sit next year out on Wemby because I don't like it. I love Wemby. Wemby's my guy. He's my favorite player in the NBA. But this is fantasy. This is business. This is us winning and beating you. Okay, bring it on. And so yeah, what are you like? Full steam ahead with Wemby next year or what?
I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. This is about being afraid of the unknown, right? Because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with Wemby. And I know his rookie year, when I drafted him number 1 in 30 deep and walked away with a championship, everybody was like, man, Pop's going to rest him every other game. It's going to be kid gloves. Like, it was the same stuff that we're talking about right now, but for 2 entirely different reasons, right? Like, blood clot is no joke. Like, that is a career ender. So it is a legitimate worry as he heads into year 3 here. So I imagine if I get the second pick and Wemby's there, I'm going to take him because I do think he's evolutionary, game-changing. If he can stay healthy for 2 or 3 entire seasons, we may change rules because of him. Because if he plays a full season and does what he does, your team's going to be almost impossible to beat. You're going to really have to screw it up not to win the championship. So I'm probably still going in, but I think along with where will Dyson Daniels, where will Josh Giddey go next year? Is Wemby going to play the whole year, and how healthy is he when training camp gets here? Is going to be another huge question that we'll be waiting for in fantasy.
But right now, you would take Jokic over Wemby.
Oh, I don't know what I'd personally do is not what I tell people to do because I do stupid stuff. But I would assume Jokic is going before Wemby this year.
Would you do that though? I would. I would take Jokic over Wemby going into next year. Even if he's cleared and green lit and they say he's completely free of the blood clots and everything is good to go, I'm still taking Jokic over Wemby because I need to see Wemby get through a year after the blood clotting. We saw, Doc, what they did with Ausar Thompson. Okay, they dropped his minutes down. They treated him with kid gloves and, maybe a different blood clotting scenario here, but that has me completely spooked. Right now, you are on the clock with a 25-26 draft. It's a redraft. It's not a dynasty draft. You taking Jokic or Wemby number 1 overall if we draft right now?
If given everything you just said, if Wemby is given a green light and he's healthy, I'm taking Wemby.
Okay, again, you're eluding the question, but that's fine. We have many, many more shows throughout the offseason.
Nope. Ask me a question again.
Right, we're drafting literally right now. The clock is bleeding. You're on the clock. 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40.
I'm
Need
taking
to
Jokic.
Make a pick.
I'm taking Jokic.
Huh?
Taking Jokic.
Okay. Right now.
If we were drafting,
get good news on Wemby,
right
Doc.
now.
Nobody around here is rooting against Wemby. We love Wemby, but it's scary right now.
Yeah, right now I'm taking Jokic. If we get to October or September and they're like, hey, he's good to go, he's fully cleared to play, I'm taking Wemby.
So next up, Doc, in this segment, we're going through my Pop Players article from before the season to kind of review where I was right, where I was wrong, kind of advance to next year. And Jalen Johnson was on this list here. Pretty obligatory in any kind of like upside article. My projections for this season were 20, 10, and 4. He was 19, 10, and 5. That might be a win. I had him at 1.5 stocks. He was at pardon me. I had him at 2.5 stocks. He was at 2.6 stocks, 1 block per game and 1.6 steals per game. And I had him at 1.7 threes per game. I didn't get that one right. He was at 1.2 threes per game. But Doc, he did emerge as a 1-1-1 guy in the fantasy gold, which I love. And so, I mean, you think about next year, you got to look at him right now as a 20-10-5 guy with 1-1-1 in the block, steals, and threes. I would rather have him than Dyson Daniels. I can tell you that, Doc. Based on his stat line, that stat line is going to be better and more valuable, I believe, than Dyson Daniels, who is the sun around which we orbit our entire offseason. He is our barometer for rankings, Dyson Daniels. Am I a little worried about injuries with Jalen? Yes. However, I'm giving this young fella one more year. Okay. The 3 strikes and you're out rule. It's been 1 strike, 2 strikes. We have not gotten strike 3. So I'm moving forward with Jalen Johnson, assuming he's going to play 75 plus games.
Jalen Johnson and Jalen Williams, man. I'm as high on those guys as I am anybody. The fact that Jalen Johnson has gotten hurt 2 straight seasons is a buzzkill, man. He's a good dude. He's a great fantasy player. He's like DeAnthony Melton's stat line, except he's been set free and turned loose and plays 40 minutes a night, right? Like his game is just built for fantasy basketball. So I love Jalen Johnson. He plays for the Hawks. He kind of brought me back to the Hawks this year. I was like, you know what? Trey and Jalen, like I'm in. Dyson, but what a buzzkill to lose him again for most of the season. So I will tread carefully, but I will go back to the Johnson well next year.
Would you draft Dyson Daniels or Jalen Johnson? Like you have a pick in round 2. Like, let's say like late in round 2.
Let's say like round 3.
Okay, round 3. Who are you going with, Dyson Daniels or Jalen Johnson?
I'm probably going with Dyson because I know he's going to play in 80 games.
Point taken. Point taken. I'm not going to hammer on you after Jalen Johnson's had 2 big-time injury hit years. So elsewhere in this segment right here, this is the about to pop into stars. Add Evan Mobley written down here. Doc, there was a lot of hype around Kenny Atkinson, getting the job. He's going to give more to Evan Mobley, and we're going to get, this ascension from Evan Mobley. And I, for the most part, believed it. And I had him projected with a 19, 10, and 3 PRA, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 3 per game. Again, came pretty close here. So I had a 19, 10, and 3. He was at 18, 9, and 3. I had him at 2 blocks. He was at 1.6. He's never been a 2-block guy, and I will give that up. I had him at 1 steal. He was at 0.9. And I had him at 1 3. He was at 1.2. And so, next year, I'm going to be looking for the 1-1-1. I mean, he was virtually a 1-1-1 guy this year, 0.9 steals per game. And also, I'm looking for that uptick to the Zach Randolph realm of 2010. Steve Smith, my great friend over at NBA TV, used to call Zach Randolph first name 20, last name 10. By the way, how dope is that, Doc? How dope is first name 20, last name 10? That's one of the great, great nicknames. Steve Smith authored that one up. Shout out to my boy Smitty, man.
Love Smitty. We got Smitty's seats to that Hawks Heat playoff game when Josh Smith went between his legs and tried to dunk it in a playoff game and missed.
Yeah, those were nice. What were we, second row, third row?
We were in the second row behind like the owners and stuff, and best seats I've ever had at a game.
Yeah, they were nice, dude. I've had courtside one time at Madison Square Garden. Ahmad Rashad gave me his tickets one time. It was a lousy game. It was like the Knicks against a terrible team, but dude, I was courtside at MSG, bro. That was pretty cool. But yeah, having second row for that game was awesome. Shout out to Smitty for that.
Smitty hooked us up, and then whenever we get to talking about this, I always like to have you break down the political leadership group in Atlanta. Is Dominique Wilkins the governor?
So Dominique is the yes, Dominique is the governor. Steve Smith is the senator. Dennis Scott is the mayor.
Okay. All right.
That's how that goes. And with Dennis, you got to put a little swag and a little hot sauce on it. He's the Maya from the Himalayas. That's what he used to. That's what these used to call it. I'm the Maya from the Himalayas. I don't know. I don't know about the Himalayas, but it rhymed and it sounded kind of cool. By the way, Smitty had a nickname for me. He called me Tricky Ricky, and Dennis called me Ricky. I was going to say Ricky Props. No, Ricky Pipes. So it was fun. Those are my guys, man. I love Steve Smith and Dennis Scott. Those are my buddies, man. All the way to the grave. Those are my guys, man. I miss working with them. But I love working with you, Doc, Andre, Brew. We're on Sports Ethos. We're having a blast. So Evan Mobley, Doc, I had him in the about to pop deal, and he's probably going to win DPOY right here. And we're going to get to awards a little bit later on in our show, but your thoughts on Mobley, I guess, heading into next year, dude? Do you think there's another level for him to get to, or do you think he kind of maxed out this year?
I kind of feel like this is about as good as it's going to get. Like Paolo Banchero, I feel like there is another level. Like he can go up to another floor. Mobley, I just feel like he is who he is. Like this is it. He is in the running for Defensive Player of the Year with Draymond Green and my boy Dyson Daniels, and maybe he wins it. I don't know, but man, Cleveland was really, really good this season, and a big part of that was the coaching change, along with the emergence of Evan Mobley. But what about you? Do you think there's another level he can get to, or is this it?
Like that, Doc. Like from, let me pull up his stat. Like this year, he was 18-9. I think we can get to 20-10. I mean, we're talking about one more basket per game, one more rebound per game. I've kind of given up on the 2 blocks per game thing. Like I said, I think as high as 1.8, but he's never been at 2 blocks per game. I do want to see him get to a steal per game, if only so we can call him a 1-1-1 guy. But 0.9 is still pretty good. I think there's a little bit of upside with the 3-ball game too, Doc. He was at 1.2 this year. I think he could get that up to 1.5, 1.6. But we're talking about little minor increases, right? I basically agree with you that this is what it is, right? But I think there's a little bit of room for improvement. Not like where you would draft him around ahead. Like I may draft Paulo around ahead, but I would not draft Mobley around ahead. I think his numbers next year are going to look very similar to what they are this year. Okay.
Hey,
so elsewhere in this segment, Doc.
Andre, real quick. Andre did some research on strained obliques. Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Cole Anthony in 2022. All three of those guys. Oblique. All 3 of those guys are magic. The only other one he could find that he told us about was Marcus Smart in 2019. I don't think he was playing for the Magic, but what is up with the Magic and strained obliques?
It's kind of crazy. Crazy. I thought it was crazy that Paulo blew out an oblique. And then, I don't know, a month later, Franz blew out an oblique. And it was like, what? Nobody in basketball ever has an oblique. And on your team, both of your starting forwards have oblique injuries. That was very, very, very weird. A weird coincidence. Doc, I also had Cade Cunningham here in the, what was this category again? This was the about to pop into stars. And I had Cade Cunningham here. What did I project for him? This season, Cade will be spectacular with a PRA of 25, 5, and 8. He was at 26, 6, and 9. So I was a little bit light, actually. I had him at 1.1 steals. And I actually, for the work for this show, I did it by the stocks, not the steals. I had him at 2.3 threes per game, and he was at 2.1. I did say there would be improved efficiency. He went from 45% from the field to 47. I got my finger on the pulse of Cade Cunningham, people. I do. He went up from 23 points to 26, from 4.3 rebounds to 6.1, from 7.5 assists to 9.1, from 1.3 stocks to 1.8 stocks, and from 1.9 threes up to 2.1, and from 45 to 47. And Doc, he only took 2 more shots per game. Okay. So that was about efficiency, usage rate, being smart, being better. It was not about taking 5 more shots per game and it leads to all these other goodies, right? He just became a better player this year, a leader, a tiger, an alpha. And gosh dang it, one of my favorite players in the league, man. I love me some Cade Cunningham.
Now, I've never been a Cade believer, but I am now. He's a walking double-double. He's flirting with triple-doubles. He's reliable, man. I feel like he was really reliable, consistent performer. I just felt like I could trust Cade Cunningham. I played him a lot in DFS this year. I don't think I've ever had him on a fantasy team, but I will be drafting some Cade this year.
Hey, Doc. Is this on? Doc.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham next year, knocking on the door of the first round.
Yep.
Like safely in the second round. If you wanted to, dude, think about it. Cade Cunningham or Trae Young. Cade's probably going to score a little bit more. He's going to be near Trae in assists, but below. He's going to be way better in rebounds. Cade's going to be better in stocks. They're probably going to be about the same in 3 balls. Cade's going to be way more efficient. I'd probably still take Trae over Cade. But that now has become a debate. Like, Cade Cunningham to me is a borderline first-round pick heading into next year. And if you get him mid-second round, I think you're just doing great getting Cade at that point.
I would take Cade over Trae. I would probably draft Cade in front of Jason Tatum.
Yes, I would definitely do that. I would take Cade over Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has a first-round stat line, and he's taken it the back end of the first round in most drafts. But the injuries, right? I mean, it's just, I'm always waiting on the other shoe to fall on Kevin Durant. And I love Kevin Durant, we all do. But the injuries just plague and haunt that dude no matter where he goes. Doc, elsewhere in this segment, the about to pop into stars, I had Jalen Williams, your guy. I had him, I said J-Dub is going to pop into a PRA of 22, 5, and 5. He went 21, 5, and 5. I said he'd be at 2 threes per game. How many threes was he at? 1.8. Sorry. And I had him at 1.4 steals. He was at like 1.6. But he had an uptick overall in stocks. He went from 1.7 stocks to 2.3 stocks. And I'm pretty sure that was 1.6 steals and 0.7 blocks. So I had 1.4 steals. He went up to 1.6. So I kind of sort of nailed the ascension of J-Dub right there, dude. But I think a lot of us saw that. I'm not trying to take extra credit or really any credit for it. But that's what I wrote back before the season.
Well, he's on such a deep team, man. I just, like I said yesterday, I hope that one day we can see Jalen Williams as the alpha dog on a team and just see what he can do. Because I think if he played for like a bad team like the Wizards, we would be seeing something completely different. That our minds would be blown, I think.
I agree. You know who that guy is for me, Doc? Jaylen Brown is that guy for me. And I know it's probably never going to happen. I'm a huge Jaylen Brown fan. The only thing that keeps me from getting a Jaylen Brown jersey, Doc, I'd have to wear a Celtics jersey. I don't want to wear a Celtics jersey. I'm not a fan of the Celtics. And you know what? If I get a Jaylen Brown jersey, Doc, everywhere I go, all of the Boston fans are going to come out, right? Hey, you're a Celtics fan. Hey, what about our squad? Hey, blah, 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 blah. Time out. I'm not a Celtics fan. And so it creates a dialogue buzzkill, right? Like, and here's the thing too, especially with older white guys down here in Florida, they don't even really like the NBA, okay? And I hate to play sort of the white thing here, but I'm telling you, dude, I'm in Florida and I'm out and I'm at concerts and I'm at bars and I'm at stuff and they see my jersey or whatever and I used to like the NBA. I can't tell you how many times, if I had a buck for every time I heard a dude say, I used to be an NBA fan, I don't really like the league anymore, I'd be a millionaire, bro.
So would I.
Okay?
We both would.
It's crazy. You're in Georgia, okay? You talk with older white guys, okay? We've talked about this. How many of they're turning off on the league, dude? They are. Like, oh, I used to like the NBA. I came up watching it, blah, blah, blah. I just don't like the league that much anymore. I think the guys in college play harder than the guys in the NBA. How many
No
times do you hear
defense.
that bull crap take? But look, the NBA has a demographical problem with white dudes in the South over 40 years of old. They just do, okay? It's fact. It is fact. You talk to them about football. I mean, obviously the South is dominated by football, okay? But the NBA is losing that demographic. They, if they haven't already lost them. So that's an issue here, bro. So I can't get the Jaylen Brown jersey because it's going to be Celtic, and I'm not a Celtic fan, but I do love some Jaylen Brown. All right, Doc, and then I had deep fried poppers, and these were 9-cat average ranking of 100 plus from the previous season. I had Brandon Pajemski. He had a 9-cat ranking in the previous year of 135, and obviously, let's see, I had Poach popping to a PRA of 12, 7, and 5. He ended up at 12, 5, and 3, so I didn't get what I wanted. And I had him at 2 threes per game. He was less than that. I had him at 1 steal per game. He was at 1.1. He will, I don't know, Doc. He may be in a pop article heading into next year, but Steve Kerr, man.
It's Steve Kerr, dude. Like, if Kerr would have just played Pajemski every night like he was supposed to, he would have hit all those numbers.
Like he was supposed to.
But Kerr was weird with him. He's weird with everybody on that team.
Except Curry, Green, and Butler. They are guaranteed of their minutes. Everybody else, keep your head on a swivel, yo, because Steve Kerr's coming for your playing time. Norman Powell, Doc. I had Norman Powell here in the deep fried poppers. He had a 9-cat ranking of 141 in the 23-24 season. In the 24-25 season, safely in the top 100, and I don't have that ranking right now. But I had him popping, Doc, to 19, 3, and 2. He popped to 22, 3, and 2. I had him at 2.5 threes. He was actually at 3. And I had him at 1 steal per game. He was at 1.2. He had career highs basically across the board, not including rebounds and assists. I mean, it was 3 and 2. What if it was a career high? Who cares? But the points, the threes, the steals, all a career high. But Doc, I am not going to be high on Norman Powell coming into next year because presumably they're going to have a healthy Kawhi Leonard, and I think that's going to drop Norman Powell down into the high teens in scoring. And I think he has the possibility of being overdrafted next year.
I think he does too. He was way more fun to roster this year when Kawhi wasn't playing. And even when Kawhi came back, he was still fun. But then once Kawhi got fully locked and loaded, Harden was doing his thing, Norm Powell was not nearly as fun to have on your team. So I think he's going to be a good guy to draft late in your draft again next year, but don't count on him to score 22 a game. It's not going to happen unless Kawhi goes down again, which is totally possible.
Unfortunately, it's totally possible. And then, Doc, I don't know. I had like tanky pops, guys that were going to pop and then get shut down. But this year was a little bit different with the tanking. And so I don't even want to go into that list. What I do want to do here with our last few minutes, Doc, is get into the awards. And let's take these one by one. And I want to split this up into like who should win the award or who we have. Let's do it that way. Who we have and then who we think will actually win the award. Okay, so Doc, you go first with Coach of the Year. Who do you have and who do you think will actually win the award?
Kenny Atkinson and Kenny Atkinson. 64 wins for the Cavs. Did a brilliant job with that team. I think Mark Daigneault of OKC deserves some votes. I think JB Bickerstaff of Detroit deserves some votes, but I think Atkinson deserves the award.
Atkinson is my Coach of the Year, and he's going to win Coach of the Year. Doc, here's the thing with Kenny A. Kenny A took a team that they had won 99 games over the previous 2 years. So they were basically a 50-win team. They were fourth in the East each of the previous 2 years. So he took over a good team. So that's dicey for a coach, is you try to win coach of the year. Like, you got to do some pretty special stuff to take a 50-win team that has been top 4 in home court in the first round back-to-back years. For you to go into that team and win coach of the year, you've got to do amazing things. And he did. It's arguably the best regular season in Cavs history. I actually don't know this right now. Did a LeBron Cavs team ever win 64 games? I don't know that. I know Andre will have this stat for us like that. I know a LeBron Cavs team got to 60 wins. I feel pretty safe in saying that. I don't know if they ever got to 64 wins with a Bron Cavs team. And I would love to know if that ever happened, or if we just witnessed the best regular season in Cavs history. Bottom line is, Doc, it just was an amazing coaching job, dude. They won 66 games back in 08-09, which was boy, that was that year, Doc. That was the year that we were supposed to get LeBron and Kobe at the mountaintop. Remember, Orlando beat Cleveland in the East Finals that year, and we got the Laker-Orlando series, which was not good. So, okay, not the best regular season in Cavs history, but probably the second best. But Kenny A's my guy, and I think Kenny A's going to win the award. Defensive Player of the Year, Doc, who is your guy, and who do you think is going to win it?
Well, my guy is Dyson Daniels. I think Dyson Daniels, 3 steals a game, 0.7 blocks, 4.5 rebounds. Just a shutdown player. He played almost every game. He did it every night. I like Daniels there. I don't know who's going to win it. I think it's going to either be Draymond Green or Evan Mobley. I have a feeling you're going to go with Mobley. To me, Draymond Green, you play all the defense you want, but if you can't score and like you're just invisible, like it rings deaf on me. So Mobley is probably going to win it. I like Dyson Daniels.
So Dyson Daniels is my guy, and I just want to
really,
yeah, Dyson Daniels would get my vote for
that
sure.
Surprises me.
For Defensive Player of the Year. I actually believe that a wing can win the award. I had Kurt Heelan of NBC Sports on the Sports Ethos NBA show with Rick Kamla earlier this week. Shout out to Kurt Heelan. He is, and we talked about this, he doesn't really, he's not a huge fan of wings winning the award. I'll just say it that way. And it was a much smarter take than I just condensed it. But, and I heard him say that. I'm kind of like, cool. I don't agree with that. To me, it's not, I don't look at it like you're a wing, you're a big. I look at it as who is the most impactful defensive player this year in the NBA. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to weight it either way to a big or a small. I don't care. I literally don't care. To me, it's who is the most impactful, disruptive, and successful defensive player. Dyson Daniels took the Hawks defense, Doc, from 28th last year to 19th this year. And it was at 15, and then they lapsed a little bit. So Dyson Daniels almost helped the Hawks double up their defense from last year. As it was, they went from 28 to 19, which is still a massive improvement. And Dyson Daniels is literally the guy for that. The Draymond Green thing is an absolute joke. He's trying to talk himself into winning this award, and he's already won the award. The Golden State Warriors this year have a defensive rating of 7th, okay, which is good, but it's not elite. And Draymond Green did not have a full season. He was activated after Butler got there. I don't really think Evan Mobley has had a scream at you Defensive Player of the Year season. Cleveland is an elite defensive team. I think SGA or Dort should be getting more love. But so I'm with you. I don't know. I think Mobley's going to win the award. I think Evan Mobley is actually going to win the award. My vote would go to Dyson Daniels. I don't want Draymond to win this award. That will bum me out. If Evan Mobley can win it, Lou Dort can win it, SGA can win it, Walker Kessler can win it. I don't even know if he played 65 games. Anybody but Draymond. Anybody but Draymond. I don't want Draymond winning DPOY because he's trying to talk himself into it, man.
Wow. I like
He's
it.
campaigning.
I don't want him to win either. Should I do most improved player?
Who do you got? So who is your vote for most improved, and then who do you think is going to win?
My vote is Dyson Daniels again. I think Cade Cunningham might win it.
It's funny because Kurt Heelan said that his most improved player is Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels is, dude, think about that. He could win, he could literally win 2 awards, DPOY and most improved. That's crazy. That's not a good look for David Griffin, who just got axed by the Pelicans. Griff's my boy. Griff, I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm not mad at you. Love you. But I got most improved. I think it's Cade Cunningham. Okay. The voters have shown us that you're a first-time All-Star who also popped and took his overall game and team to a different level. Those are the guys that win most improved. Cade Cunningham has the best resume in that regard this year. Evan Mobley does as well. First-time All-Star. He popped, his team popped. That fits that model as well. But I got Cade Cunningham, and I actually think that Cade Cunningham will win the award. Sixth man of the year, Doc, who you got? And then who do you think will actually win the award?
I was you and I both were making a hard push for Malik Beasley to get there, but I just don't think he finished the season strong enough. And Pritchard's had some big stuff going on, alternating up and down all the way through the season. I think Peyton Pritchard is going to win the award, and that's probably who I'd vote for.
My vote would be Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley, Doc, made over 300 threes this year, up there with Ant-Man and Steph Curry as a bench player. That's never happened before. He made history. Peyton Pritchard made a grand total of no history. I got Malik Beasley. And there's also team success in there with that. So Beasley would get my vote. I think Peyton Pritchard is going to win the award. Rookie of the year, Doc, who would you vote for and who do you think will actually win?
Stephon Castle. I know there's other guys in the conversation, but I don't see how you give it to anybody else. Stephon Castle was the best offensively. He probably played the biggest role on his team. Maybe Ricochet played a pretty big role for the Hawks, but he was just like a scary roller coaster. I just feel like Castle won. He went out and won this award.
Khalil Ware and Zach Edey should get some votes and all that, but Stephon Castle would get my vote, and there's no doubt in my mind that Stephon Castle is going to win Rookie of the Year. All right, Doc, we saved the best for last. MVP. Who would you vote for, and who do you think will win?
I think it's going to be a really interesting vote because I think SGA was the Vegas favorite the whole time. And like Vegas had already decided that SGA won the award. But Jokic averaged a triple-double, the first center in league history to do that. Rick likes history. I'm still going with SGA because how many wins did Oklahoma City have? Like 65? Something like that. I'm still going. I'm going with the best player on the best team, and that was SGA and the Thunder. I think he should win it. I think he will, and he should.
SGA had a Michael Jordan stat year, and his team won 68 games. 68, not 64 or 62. They almost won 70 games. SGA was in the running for the best defensive player in the year this year as well. Let's not forget that. I love Jokic. I love what he did. First player ever, top 3 in points, rebounds, steals, and assists. I get it. He's probably the best season never to win, or pardon me. He probably just had the best season that won't win MVP. Okay, I'll say that. But 18 games better were the Thunder over the Nugs. 18 games. Come on, man. Winning's got to matter here, bro. And we don't know if Jokic got a coach fired or not. We still don't really know that. Okay? A coach got fired on Jokic's watch. Jokic is the star player. If Jokic really wanted Michael Malone to still be the coach of the Nugs, he might still be the coach of the Nugs. Okay? That to me is a hit on the Jokic side. Like, your team had a success problem to the point where your coach got whacked. So, I mean, we're nitpicking here, right? Because it's that close. But I saw a little clip of Bill Simmons and Ron Russillo talking, and about MVP, and Russillo's on Jokic. Bill Simmons said he had pivoted off of SGA to Jokic. And I believe these guys have votes, Doc. So I think this is going to be super close. It would not surprise me if Jokic won this. I actually still do believe that SGA will win it, but he would get my vote. But I'm prepared for Jokic to get this and to be like, whoa, Jokic won a 4th in 5 years. SGA got screwed out of a 3rd award. I had SGA winning MVP last year. He didn't. I had SGA winning MIP the year before. Lauri Markkanen and some stupid-ass voters stole that from him. And so SGA might get robbed of an award for the 3rd straight year, Doc. I hope that does not happen, though.
I wonder if we could see a co-MVP.
I mean, the vote, because the league doesn't do it, right? Where they go, all right, screw it. It's so close. Let's just honor them both. It all comes down to the voting. And so that's math. And that, dude, that would be a statistical anomaly if all of it stacked up and they were perfect neck and neck with each other. But I think it's going to be close, Doc. I think it's going to be close.
I do too. It could go either way. I won't be surprised either way.
I'll be a little bit butthurt if Jokic wins it. On the SGA side, it's not like an anti-Jokic thing. I would be butthurt for SGA if he did not win this award. I mean, dude, if you can't win MVP with 68 wins and a Michael Jordan stat line with an 18-game bulge over the other guy, you will never win MVP. If you can't win it this year, you will never win MVP. And I don't want that to be the case.
Yep, I agree.
Doc, we're out of time, brother.
Whew.
Good show, man. Good
I'm
show.
gonna rest up these pipes.
Dude, you guys, this was Doc's flu game right here. The Doc went Jordan here today, man. I'm your Scottie Pippen, baby. I'm carrying you off the court at the end of the game. After giving the Jazz like 38, 7, and 5 and all the goodies. I'll carry you off the court, bro. I need help, though.
Let's go.
I need help, though. I'm not that strong. I need help. No commentary. I can't carry anybody. Like, I couldn't carry a 100-pound woman off the court. I'm not that strong.
Well, you certainly couldn't carry my fat ass off the court then. By the way, I was on Yuri's podcast on Bitches Be Ballin' last night, and she said, "Man, I just love you and Kamla together. It's like you guys are an old married couple that just push each other's buttons." I like, damn, yeah, that's kind of funny. I like it.
She ain't wrong.
No,
she ain't wrong. Yuri ain't wrong.
She got the old
Yuri. We love you.
She got the old part right.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We've known each other a long time. We're best buds and the best content in the game for basketball. So for Dr. A, for Andre Lemouche, and all of you, I'm Rick Kamla. A couple of reminders. Go to sportsethos.com, get a membership, sign up, buy our content. It's low dough. It's high-octane content for you. A lot of bang for the buck. You can read our articles out there, okay? Go to your favorite app store and download the Sports Ethos app. All the NBA blurbs, MLB, NFL blurbs that you need to win and dominate. There's other tools out there as well. Please subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel and also to the podcast feed of the Fantasy NBA Today. Doc and I will see you next week, and we look forward to more shows with y'all here on Sports Ethos. And follow us at Ethos Fantasy NBA as well. Peace out. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.